Nothing. There's no two ways about it. Biafra remains the only remedy. The only remedy. It is not a selfish request. All we are saying is leave and let's leave. Let every region be on their own. The Arewa people can practice their caliphate in the north. The Yoruba Republic can be in the southwest and practice their monarchical system. And the Biafrans will be with their secular system and be there for themselves. The Middle Belt can practice whatever they deem fit for them. This is all we ask. The time bomb called Nigeria is about to explode. And the world cannot sit back and continue to watch. They can't sit back and continue to watch. Just as one of the lawmakers in the United States confirmed, a lawmaker in the United States confirmed that when it happened in Rwanda, they sat back and they were watching until it was too late, only to come and write history of Rwanda. Even in Sudan, they sat back and watched until it was too late, only to come and write history. In Kosovo, they sat and they were watching, and people lost their life, only to come and write history. In Biafra Civil War, they sat back and they watched. Genocide happened. They did nothing, only to come back to write history. Today, another one is about to happen in Nigeria. Another one is about to happen, and the world is watching. And I thank God that that lawmaker said that this time they cannot sit back and watch. They cannot sit back and watch. It doesn't matter the propaganda of Nigerian government. It doesn't matter their lies that they are pushing right, left, and center. It will never work. It will never, ever, ever work. They will never succeed. We are here. We are here to expose all their lies, all the propaganda. Every lie they are pushing right, left, and center, we are here to expose them. We will make sure that it doesn't see the daylight. They persecute MAZI NNAMDI KANU, an innocent man who has given his life for his own people. What is MAZI NNAMDI KANU asking for? Freedom for everybody. MAZI NNAMDI KANU is not even, his pursuit of freedom is not just for Biafran people, not just for Igbo people, it is for everybody, for humanity. In fact, he is fighting for every region. That was why a student union leader that is not even a Christian, not even a Biafran, is today making a case for MAZI NNAMDI KANU. A student union leader is in the front line demanding for the release of MAZI NNAMDI KANU. A student union leader. He's the one in the front line asking the government to free MAZI NNAMDI KANU. And I want us to share that video. Let's hear the account that guy has to give about MAZI NNAMDI KANU for you to understand.
National Association of Nigerian Students, right? He is the president of that association, and his name is Atiku Isa Abubakar. That name sounds familiar, but they are different. I mean, don't confuse that with the former vice president. This one is, there's an Isa there, at least as a defining quality. You're welcome.
Thank you. Good afternoon.
You're welcome. Now, so today we will be talking about the Nnamdi Kanu saga that's going on. The judgment has been set by the Federal High Court for 20th of November. That will be like Tuesday, right? Tuesday next week. And is it Tuesday or Wednesday?
Wednesday.
Wednesday, all right. So what exactly do we expect to find? Now, the last time you came here, it was concerning the President of the Senate and Natasha saga. Right now, it's the Nnamdi Kanu saga. And we just heard from the proceedings that occurred at the court the last time Nnamdi Kanu was in court, that judgment's been set for 20th of November. Let's proceed from there. What's your I know as a pressure group, as a comrade, as a union leader, as a students leader. How do you see that?
The court, and let me say, most of the judges are no longer held in high esteem again.
Why?
And, the judge which is handling this particular case,
Yeah.
according to, because I've been to the Federal High Court,
Yeah.
I think he presides in Court 8, and most of the lawyers there, what they have, I heard them saying that he's government judge, according to them. Though we
Like allegedly.
yes, that what they mean by government judge is that whatever his rulings are not based on law and evidence, but whatever he's directed, that is the judgment he gives. And that is very bad for us as a people. People usually say that the judiciary
do you
is the
believe
last.
it? Is that on hearsay?
It's not just hearsay, and he has demonstrated that several times.
All right, let's hear
Like
it.
when PDP went to court regarding their convention, this is the internal party affairs. He gave the judgment halting the convention that's supposed to hold 15th, 16th of this month. And that's why, because Wiki has an interest. So whatever judgment he will pass is usually dependent on the interest of Wiki, who is considered by most Nigerians as the Chief Justice of the Federation, and by extension, he's even more powerful than the Chief Justice of the Federation, that he owns the judiciary.
This particular judge?
No, you know,
Okay,
Wiki owns the judiciary.
Okay.
Yes, he decides what happened. You know, that's why when politicians have cases in court, they run to Wiki, because he has the capacity to call a judge and direct any judge. This is how you should give the ruling. The only thing the judge needs to do is to sit down now and see how we're able to coin that to fit in to what Wiki wants. So with that, having said that, Omotosho is handling the case. We will definitely give whatever judgment that the federal government wants. It's not going to be based on law and evidence. It is going to be based on whatever the federal government wants. So we are not talking about going to court and then see. You see, that's why these days people don't even have interest in going to the court again, because this is according to lawyers and lawyers that judgments are usually bought. I met a senior citizen in this country, and after he lost the election, he said that actually he knew he was going to lose, that the money the judge said he should bring, he couldn't bring, and the opponent gave the judge that money. So he now told me the amount of money you need to pay for, depending on the position. For House of Rep, he told me the amount. Senate, he told me the amount. Governor told me the amount. This one is, and this one was confirmed to me again by a national chairman of one of the leading political parties. I just don't want to mention him. A friend of the president told me that again, that when there was something and we needed something to be done, say that you know, I have cases, and these cases we need to pay. And so when he said we need to pay, I said, okay, that means what this other senior citizen was telling you is true. If this one that is even close to the president would tell me that they need to pay money to judges, all these judgments are bought.
So it's cash for judgment.
It's cash for judgment. You don't need to. That's why. Another.
All right. Bottom line, the what you're saying, the insinuation, if I follow what you have said, is that you don't believe in whatever judgment is going to proceed from the court on the 20th. Is
No,
that
I don't believe. That's why the position we have taken as a union, in my capacity as the national president of the National Association of Nigerian Students, is to appeal to President Tinubu to discontinue the case, because there's nothing good, there's no justice that can come from the court, especially when these judges, they want handling the case.
Well, I think I read somewhere where somebody, a special assistant, is he a special assistant on community engagement for the Southeast? Somebody, Chioma Weasley, if I remember correctly, said Mr. President is not likely, he's not going to intervene because it's a matter in court and he's someone who believes in the rule of law, and so he would not want to interfere with the court proceedings. Even if he's going to come in at all, the court has to do its duty.
That position is not correct.
Why?
Because Igboho was going to court. The federal government discontinued the case. Mieti Allah, the federal government discontinued the case. Why is Nnamdi Kanu's case different? Is it because he's an Igbo man? So, if the president has the power to direct the Attorney General of the Federation to discontinue the case,
and so
it is within his a prerogative. It has nothing to do with. It's like you having a case against somebody. Say, just go to the court and say, I'm no longer interested in the case again. The court will discontinue. So there's nothing in the person writing that. I don't know the person. You know, there are some persons in the southeast.
That is how they project themselves. They say that the president is a lawful person. He will not interject in a law court. He will not intercept the law. He allows the law to take its course. But this same president discontinued a case for Igboho.
Okay.
Discontinued a case for Mieti Allah leader.
Hey.
When it comes to MAZI NNAMDI, they say, "Oh, he's a man of order. A man, he cannot interject. He cannot come into the law. He's a man who respects the rule of law." This guy has just thrown into their face now. They lie, they push all the time. Mad people everywhere.
We know that the Nnamdi Kanu being released will not be business as usual again, because the crimes they perpetrate and the positions they currently occupy, they know that Nnamdi Kanu is the only person in the entire the southeast that has control, that has the support of all the Igbos.
Absolutely.
No any other person alive
this
today.
person speaking is not just someone from the southeast. This is someone who works with Mr. President as a special assistant on community engagement.
You can see that he's already biased. He's trying to see that he doesn't know where he doesn't know the position of the president, whether the president
is not really the president. Shouldn't he know?
No, most of this. Let me tell you this: most of these special assistants don't even see the president for a whole year. They are just there receiving salary. They are not advising anything. They are not assisting anything. They don't even have a role.
Well, Malam Atiku Isa Abubakar, have you seen your prophet before?
Which prophet are you talking about?
The prophet of your religion.
No.
Have you seen it? But do you believe in his beliefs?
100%.
I'm trying to say that you don't necessarily have to see your leader to be able to understand and believe in what he believes in.
These people
which points did they make now? I don't understand.
I don't know. I can't understand. I don't know the point where they make.
Now, China, oh my God.
My brother, you're welcome, Jerry.
Morning, brother. Morning, brother. Choose Goku Nigeria. Oku Madu Now, journalists be this one when they blah. It's just the blab. We question no make sense. The man they boss in bubble. This guy is bossing his bubble. He's not even a champ. He tell him because, like you said, when it comes to Igboho, they intervene to discontinue. On the other hand, they will say they will not interfere with the judiciary. Let them play. So the double standard is just mind blowing, and they don't call them to order. Like this journalist, I hope, I don't know if he's journalist, but he's the interviewer. Well, he should be able to say something. So why are you saying they said that the law should take its course? But on the other hand, with the Miatiala, with Sunday Igboho, and with others, the law will not take its course. He will step in and discontinue it. It's incredible. And I watched this thing yesterday, as a matter of fact. You know, so the notion that any Igbo governor or Igbo businessman is just rubbish. Yes, it's true that they do that. You know, they don't want him out. Even Wike doesn't. But at the same time, you know, he's the president that has the
power does not lie in them. The power lies in the president.
Exactly. So nobody should try and exonerate Tinubu, because all this whole thing Wike is doing, like he's describing Wike as a man with so much power. That power is the power that Tinubu gave to him, you know, and Wike know it. That's why I said that Wike, one thing with Wike is that he's just a sycophant of the highest order. The guy I detest Wike so badly. He they do gra. All that gra is simply because of the power that one man, if Turubu can remove him just like that, and if he remove him, let's say Turubu say now, okay, I replace you. Wike is done. He's finished. He will run out of the country. I'm telling you the gospel truth, because he's so hated because of his evil, and there will be no protection with all his money.
Even
all the money.
Abroad, he will not be protected.
Well, the only thing is that if he go to a place where maybe he can seek asylum, but this guy, Wike, cannot step foot in the United States as we speak now, because he's among those who have been committing heinous crime in Nigeria.
If he goes abroad, ICC will pick him. Any country he enters, they will pick him.
100%. And he's coming, even Tinubu is coming to a point now where he will be dragged to ICC. He will be sent to The Hague, and there he go die put, because all the crime that has taken place under Tinubu, he looked away, the bug stops in his own table, so he will know he can never be, exonerated. And it's just incredible that all these people, the problem of Nigeria is so vast. Sometimes it's hard to really sum it up. Now the journalist yesterday, Rufai, they were asking somebody who was talking about Christian genocide, and he said, what is the solution? Well, the solution is that everybody should be talking about.
I still have that video. We will discuss that video. We will discuss that very interview, because it's
everybody should be, including the journalists, if they believe in fair play. If people believe in the politicians, if they believe in fair play, then the what everybody should be talking about, singing about, is the abbreviation of or the abolition of the Sharia law, the blasphemy law. Everybody should be, because you can't. How on earth can you not understand that it's not normal to have blasphemy law in Nigerian constitution? It's not normal. It should not be acceptable to anybody, because Nigeria is a secular state. Therefore, you cannot go and put Christian law, ecclesiastical law, or Sharia law. It doesn't make sense. So that is the motion that Ted Cruz has raised. One would expect everybody to be talking about it. That should be the subject matter on everybody's lips now as we speak. I know without a doubt that this Janjaweed, this caliphate, they will never accept it for it to be wiped out of the constitution. They will not accept. But that is where the rubber will meet the rope, because it's not supposed to be there. It was criminally infused into the constitution. So you see that they remove it, abolish it, so that everybody can, play on equal playing field. Or then you have your country, people go their separate ways. So that is a great move by Ted Cruz. I'm just surprised that people are not talking about it. That should be the conversation in everyone's lip right now. Remove the Sharia law in Nigerian constitution, because that is hypocrisy of the highest order. How can you have such unequal, treatment for the people? Christians doesn't have their own law in it. What is this is secular, meaning that no religion should have precedence over the other, but they put their own there, and it was not there. Obasanjo, during his time, they put it there, they twist his arm, they put him there. So to settle the problem of Nigeria is going back to the originality, the stand that the Nigeria constitution was made as secular. Simple as that. If not, then so it's so far, because it's like about a week now or two that they begin to push on this, to completely remove any religious law in Nigerian constitution. That is how it was from the beginning. But up to now, people are not. I expect that is what everybody should be talking about. Because quite frankly, that is where
Nigeria now they gave them script already. Don't talk about that. Leave it so that it will die off.
Exactly. To die natural, just die off like that. And it's incredible. Yeah, the country, the people have a short memory. I've never seen anything like that. One of our brother, was it yesterday also, was talking about this memory lab. You know, after about 1 week now, they want it to
You
just
won't talk
die down.
about it again.
Everybody, yeah, everything just died down. And meanwhile, since about 2 weeks now, Tinubu and his government has not shown any effort, no move to show
Nothing.
that they are ready to, if you know what I mean. Because as we
Yes.
speak today, Gumi is still roaming about, promoting terrorists, making case for them as we speak. And Tinubu has not even make one move to even show that you mean business, that you are not a terrorist,
If you
that
mean
you don't.
business, the very first person to arrest is Gumi.
Exactly. Well, you know
Once you
what?
arrest Gumi, we know that you mean business.
Yeah, you know what is Gumi is saying now, that those coffees that are being buried, they are empty coffees. I
My
don't
brother,
coffee.
I saw that message. I was mad.
Okay. So
Ah,
so the fact that this
can
Tinubu
you imagine the
government,
boldness?
you said,
You can imagine the boldness.
yeah, people, loved ones being buried, and you are coming out to say that they are burying empty
Empty
caskets.
coffins.
You know, so Tinubu, I've said it again and again and again that he's just another terrorist sympathizer, organizer, coordinator, whatever it is. He cannot deny that because, like I said, going to like 2 weeks now, he hasn't taken even one step to show that he's ready to fight the terrorists, but rather he's still allowing them to run rampage. You know, to Gumi going from place to place everywhere. And the name of all these people that have been mentioned, every link, every avenue has mentioned them. Sanusi, El Rufai, Sultan, all of them, aiding and abetting, working with terrorism. None of them has been apprehended for questioning. Absolutely nothing. Adeboye said, give them 100 days. What to do what? 100 days to do what? Just to deceive people, put them back to sleep. You know?
Deceivers.
How do you go, my brother?
I
Yeah.
hope you saw the motion that MAZI NNAMDI KANU placed in yesterday. You saw the motion?
The motion.
MAZI NNAMDI KANU sent the motion recently. Now, he sent the motion to stop the judgment on the 20th.
Okay, yeah. I heard about it that he filed for it to the that judgment this thing to be stopped. And yeah, and did he? I think I don't know if he appealed to. Is it the not Supreme Court or the, I don't know, but yeah. Well, let's see what happened because I watched the interview of this Atiku guy yesterday on another platform. It's not the mainstream platform, but yeah, when he said that he was with Nnamdi Kanu, you know, in the prison. I think he probably was the first time, not this current prison situation, but maybe the first one. So he said he knows him so well, and I don't recall the offense he committed that put him there, but he was pardoned or they released him. I don't know how that goes about. So, but he is appealing that he have seen it all, more or less, you know. Nnamdi Kanu is what he's asking for. He just as normal,
he ended
you
up
know.
in detention. What was the
Yeah, he
experience
did.
like? And would you also like to go back to that kind of environment again?
Well, it was a wonderful experience because it afforded me the opportunity of meeting somebody that is dear to my heart now. That's MAZI NNAMDI KANU.
Really?
I was detained, and the first day I was brought out, I saw him. I was shocked. So I now went close to him. I said, I am Comrade Atiku Isa. I wanted to introduce myself. I said, no, I know you. So I started telling me about what happened. So I became shocked. I said, then he told me that be strong. That was how I continued discussion with him for about 2 months. So MAZI NNAMDI KANU is somebody I know very well, because if you stay with somebody on a daily basis and you are discussing with the person on a daily basis for about 2 months, because in detention, you don't have anything to do. You only sit down at a particular spot. And you are with this person on a daily basis. And you are always discussing. So you should know the kind of person that he is. And let me tell you that people don't know that it was prior to my meeting with MAZI NNAMDI KANU, I had thought that he was a wicked man who want to divide the country, because I am a patriotic Nigerian and I don't want anything that will bring confusion in this country. So that was the mindset I had. But after meeting him, in the detention, I realized that the Fulanis, the Hausas, the Kanuris there are all loyal to him. You'll be shocked that he has more supporters in the DSS facility than he has outside. Because if anywhere you live and you have more than 95% of the people who are supporting you. Before I met him, a Fulani guy told me, because he said, oh, if you see MAZI NNAMDI KANU, he will like you because you can speak English. The guy does not understand English. We're always communicating in Hausa language and in Arabic language. So he said he will like you because you can speak English, and he's a good man. If you have any problem, tell him. He will help you. So that is how they see MAZI NNAMDI KANU. Or everybody in that detention facility, they see him as their leader. So it's not about a leader agitating for the Igbo cause. He's a leader agitating for Nigerians, for the betterment of Nigerians. So that is the person MAZI NNAMDI KANU is. So I have discussed with him severally. On a daily basis, he will tell me, Atiku will be strong. And along the line, now told me that, okay, I want you to play along so that they release you from here. I don't want you to continue to stay in detention. That was when I said, me, I have to remain in detention. I said, no, this place is not good for you. Play along. Do whatever they want you to do. Get away from me and go and meet your family. I said, you are here. Say, don't worry. You go out. I don't want to see young men like you to be in detention. So that is the person we are talking about, that MAZI NNAMDI KANU is. A very passionate leader with compassion, and he has the interest of especially the masses at heart. And I think the problem he has, which is not a problem, is that he's too courageous and fearless. And that is why, to me, he is still in detention. Courageous and fearless.
All right, let's look at the issue of the government and Nnamdi Kanu. Some persons say that the government is using Nnamdi Kanu as a scapegoat to avoid addressing legitimate grievances. They argue that Showere, Iboho, the chairman of Meiti Allah, all of them had issues at one time or the other. But government discontinued with that case and wondered, why is Nnamdi Kanu's case different?
Yes, I agree with those who say that. And but I also want to say that this did not start with the administration of President Tinubu. He was arrested during the last administration, and because they don't want to address the real issues. This thing is very simple. Why?
What do you think are the real issues?
The real issues are the insecurity, marginalization, and inequality in the country. These are basically the real issues. Address these issues. What on this? Because I believe that President Tinubu is a listening president. Yes, and just like I said about MAZI NNAMDI KANU being fearless and courageous, which has put him in detention. One of the things that, though, is not something that should be seen as a weakness, which the President Tinubu has, is that he's too loyal to his friends. And he always stands by his friends. So he will not want to do anything that will embarrass his predecessor. So for that reason, he's taking his time. But on this, I really want to appeal to the President and Commander-in-Chief that if the likes of Igboho, their cases will be discontinued. The chairman of Mieti Allah, their cases, Mieti Allah was arrested and detained in the same facility where MAZI NNAMDI KANU was detained. I was there, so I know all of these things. For security reasons, I want to mention the places. I know they are very, if you close my eyes, I can take you to the detention facility where MAZI NNAMDI KANU is currently, and where Mieti Allah chairman was before he was released. Don't forget, he was arrested. His boys were alleged to have stabbed a general. You see, his boys were alleged to have killed soldiers. I know all lives are equal, but the life of a military man should be seen as being special because they protect the lives of the of others. If any group that will attack military men, those groups should be seen as being extremely violent, and they should be condemned in totality. The military men deserve respect and honor because they are putting their lives to protect us. So now, this same man, his case was discontinued. A Fulani man, his case was discontinued. Yes, he's my brother. I'm happy the case was discontinued, but I'm not happy that military men were attacked. Now Igboho, who was agitating his agitation was very violent. So many lives were lost. Security personnel were attacked. Yet his case was discontinued because he's a Yoruba man. I did not meet Igboho, and I did not meet the chairman of Miyetti Allah, but I heard a lot of things about them. But in the case of MAZI NNAMDI KANU, all the things, he has been in detention. If the last one and the one that he's still in detention started in 2021, for all of these years, if they have anything against him, why have they not brought it out?
Exactly.
There's nothing against him, unlike these two people that their cases were discontinued. The president and commander-in-chief has the power by the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. He can direct the Attorney General of the Federation to discontinue with this case in the interest of national healing and unity of the country. The last time, he should know that these two men I mentioned do not have the kind of support that MAZI NNAMDI KANU has. Okay, I am in order now. As at this moment, I am still owing, as a result of the mobilization I did for people to come to Abuja to protest for the release of MAZI NNAMDI KANU. We knew that they were going to attack us. We were tear-gassed. We still protested. We were ready to lay down our lives for MAZI NNAMDI KANU because we believe that he has our interest at heart. So a man that has such support, I'm not talking about, let me tell you this, that in the entire of the Southeast, all the governors combined together do not have the kind of support that MAZI NNAMDI KANU has. Absolutely. All the governors combined together. And like I told you earlier, which is one of the things people see as the weakness of President Tinubu, and to me it's not a weakness.
That is absolute truth. Everything this guy is saying is just there. That is it, but people will not understand.
Yeah.
But thank God that our voices are speaking, not just us, because when we talk, they will say
that Biafra. Yeah.
Biafra people.
You know,
now. Go ahead.
You know, the problem is that people, they misconstrue hatred and reality or justice. So that is the thing. People should be able to differentiate between somebody who believes in fairness, you know, justice and equity. And when you talk about it, so they looked at it as if you are being hateful, because NNAMDI KANU cannot stand the level of injustice that goes on in the country. So, and we see it, we live it every day. So when you don't play along, because they just want you to play along, that's what they want, that he just play along like the other Biafran politicians, the Igbo politicians, just pretend as if everything is okay, as if it's not happening, and maybe go run for governorship or ministerial, whatever, and just continue. But it is different. So some of us are different, you know. So there are those who will close their eyes away, even when you are being marginalized, when you can clearly see how the system is intended to destroy you. Some will just act as if they don't know, or it doesn't concern them, or maybe because they are limited, you know, limited in scope, like the Uzodinma, the Soludo, all of them for the most part. Everybody is open for everybody to see the level of marginalization. You know, the other day when we were talking, and that sister, the Yoruba sister, and I spelled it out, you know, because for me, I was very willing to say it the way it is, that how can it be that the whole Biafra region You know, everybody know that Nigeria originally is a component of three major ethnic groups: Igbo, Yoruba, and Hausa. You know, it's now the creative land or whatever. But so, how is it that we don't have not a functioning seaport in the entire Biafra land, the south, south, and southeast, and we don't have a working international airport? It's either we go to Lagos or Abuja. So if there is no marginalization, how do you explain that? You know, when we ship or import or whatever, we know the things we pay in form of taxes and stuff. It goes to help those regions, not our region. And then that is just, for me, that is what these two things, what I consider the most of it all. There are other things, you know, other things they do that shows marginalization and injustice, but these very two stand out for me, you know. So for Nnamdi Kanu, yeah, all these governors, and she said we should hold our governors. Yeah, to an extent, I understand. When it comes to that, I understand that our governors are to blame majorly on that, because I said this severally. If they come together and say that this is unacceptable, that we cannot travel out of the country except we go to north or we come to southwest, which is Lagos, before we can board a flight and travel, that is unacceptable. When we ship things, or we cannot, but we have already the ground in which the seaport can be built. It can. We know this is studies have shown that we have what it takes to have a functioning seaport. But somebody somewhere, they are blocking it. So obviously, like the case of Nnamdi Kanu, because he will not just play along. That is why it's different. You know, all these other politicians in Biafra land, they agree to play along because they don't care. They don't have the interest of the people at hand, only their personal interest, their immediate family. So that is exactly the problem. And Nnamdi Kanu is not a hateful person. So if you say it the way it is, with so much boldness for people to hear, then some will misunderstand it to be attack or hateful, or you hate Fulani, or you hate Yoruba, or no. Far from it. You know, because he said in one of these things, he have relatives, people maybe that married to Yoruba, one way or the other. Same as me too, you know. So I don't hate anybody, but it's not that's not gonna stop me from saying it the way it is. No. You know. So if you are bullying the Igbo people in Lagos, because that's how I see it, it's bullying, that they cannot vote certain way, you know, that if they don't vote this, you will throw them out and you destroy their business, and now you ban them, they cannot vote in Lagos, or the name street that you are doing all these, so many steps, measures you are taking. How is that in one country in the first place? So if somebody say it the way it is, then you say he hates you or he's hateful. That's not hatefulness. That is being very proactive and being truthful. So this is what I see with Nnamdi Kanu, because even before, when he was also incarcerated, he talked about, I think one of them, another person, if not even this article, there's another guy who has also come out to talk, the interaction they have with Nnamdi Kanu, how he encourages them, everything. So it is what it is. Okay, this guy now, I don't necessarily have to agree with him 100% in the things he says, but as usual, you don't have to agree with people 100%, right? Yes. But when they speak the truth, you acknowledge that they speak the truth. If they did something good, you have to acknowledge it and you move on. And if they say or do the one you don't want, you don't accept it, you don't accept it. You know, yeah. Because for us, I believe that the job is done for the most part. And we can see the result of everything he has done. And in terms of the preaching and the admonition, everybody eyes don't open, you know. And I tell you that this country called Nigeria, no matter what happens moving forward, it can never be business as usual again. That I can guarantee you, cannot be business as usual. Why? Because that message they have been singing about Islamization has taken root. Everybody, whether you have power to do anything or not, you now know the consciousness. Who would have thought that another young man, I don't even know if he's Yoruba or a Middle Beltan, the one who talked about, you played this video that day, I was not here when you played it, you know. So that one, now, he said that some men of God, people he look up to, probably the likes of the Adeboye and all those people.
I have the video. I played it last night. I played the video last night. They want him to remove the video.
Exactly, but you see that he came out on that video to say that they want him to delete it. But then in the process of telling us that he was one to delete it, he even made a bigger revelation. It's like he even said much more. Frightening thing. It's incredible how things goes, because that first video, he talked about the people, the sponsors, and all the atrocities that they've committed over the many decades, he mentioned them. Then when they warned him, he now came out and talked about the blasphemy law that, he said that it's not supposed to be there. So he was emphasizing the blasphemy law. And that is the cocoa of the matter. This blasphemy law, you cannot have it. But we know the evil ones, they don't want to talk about it. The media, they don't want to talk about it.
They don't want to talk about it.
Because they know that one singular thing, that one alone, is enough to rock the boat. I'm telling you the truth. Because that is the condition from what Ted Cruz is saying. It must be abolished. It has to be abolished. And they are not going to do that.
So they should go on their own, be on their own and practice it within themselves.
You see my point? That is why I say we must continue.
Nobody will go to Saudi Arabia or Iraq or Iran and tell them to remove blasphemy law. You can't do that.
Exactly.
They agree with it. That is what they chose. Likewise, if you have a caliphate in the north now, they have Arewa caliphate. You can't go and tell them to remove it. But not in a secular country. Not in a secular country. So since they want to keep it within yourselves.
Exactly.
And you will not keep it in the name of, say, be together, united, this one practice different laws. No. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. Everybody must protect their boundaries, protect their borders.
Because you cannot go to Iran, Iraq, or Saudi Arabia, or any of these places and go and infuse in the Christian ecclesiastical law in their constitution. It won't happen. You know that?
Never.
So, because they are Islamic Republic, so why would you go and bring it into a country that is not a religious country, a country that is secular state? So obviously that is truly where the whole thing with Kasarago boss, if they don't agree. So, but that's my point, that has to be the subject, that every well-meaning person should continue to hammer now. So it's as simple as that. And he has come to say we just have to keep talking about it, writing about it, because that Christian guy in Abuja, that they forced him into a Sharia court and trying to take his court away. I don't know, maybe they find a way to just cover it, or maybe I don't know what they did, because on our right,
they will always cover it up. Such kind of a thing that the media is supposed to begin to follow it up until it is resolved. They will never follow up.
Exactly. The media, they are just part of the problem in the country. They are very corrupt. They do cover up so much. They don't want to speak the truth. So that is the thing. We have to.
Let's play the video of that CAN member that they manipulated his video. Use the video to manipulate and blackmail him.
Oh, that's the one. That's the one Rufai asked. Rufai asked him, what is the solution? I expected that CAN guy, he was supposed to tell him that the solution is that this ecclesiastical law has to be taken out.
US
you understand?
President Donald Trump,
I don't know,
stirred public debate in Nigeria after making a statement expressing concern over the continued killing of Christians and other citizens by extremist groups. The U.S. president warned that such violence, if not stopped, could attract stronger international reactions. The Nigerian federal government, while addressing the allegations of religious persecution in the country, rejected the United States designation of Nigeria as a country of particular concern. Reacting to this latest development, Reverend John Joseph Hayab, chairman of the Christian Association of Nigeria in the 19 northern states and the FCT, has urged Nigerians to embrace dialogue as the best way to resolve the country's challenges. The chairman, who was reacting to the response it generated from many segments of the community, both local and international.
This idea of embrace dialogue is, I don't know where the dialogue is coming from. People you are talking about are not even ready to dialogue.
Yeah.
Where are we going to start embracing this dialogue? Where are you going to start? Is it in practicing different law against people?
Yeah.
Is it how you're going to start the dialogue? How are you going to start the dialogue? Is it by allowing Sharia law in a secular country? Is it how to engage in dialogue?
National urges dialogue rather than anger to the comments made by foreign leaders. Joining us on the show to discuss the allegations of religious persecution in the country is Reverend Joseph Hayab, chairman of the Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN, in the 19 northern states and the FCT. Good morning, Reverend Hayab, and you're most welcome to the morning show.
Thank you for having me, and good morning to all of you there and to all our viewers.
Excellent. Let's go straight in. We've been having this conversation now since that post by the U.S. president claiming that there is a Christian genocide happening, particularly in the northern part of the country. Now, you're the chairman of the Christian Association of Nigeria in the north, so I'm sure you'd have a better picture of what is happening. So my first question to you, which has been asked to a number of people with differing answers, is this: would you consider what is going on right now against Christians in the north as a genocide? And then going back to your take around conversation, dialogue as a response to the U.S. What does this mean? Can you break that down further for us? What does dialogue, or what would dialogue look like?
Let me go straight to your question. Can I consider what has been happening as genocide against Christians? And my straightforward answer is yes. Y-E-S, yes. Because these things have been there. But let me quickly put this picture. We have different groups and different people who view this differently. Number one, we have people who choose to deny that there is genocide. In their own thinking, there's no Christian persecution even in northern Nigeria. We have also those who deliberately chose to downplay this matter. In their own thinking, claims by Christians that they are being persecuted or they are being killed is just for them to get sympathy. We also have this group who deliberately also chose to misrepresent. Their own is to keep misrepresenting the entire conversation, framing it as it is just only farmers-herders conflict. Well, we know as victims that it is not. And then we have the last group, those who probably are sympathizers of the perpetrators or sympathizers of victims. So anytime you listen to this conversation, you have this thing going. But as I've said in many fora, that the truth about it is that anybody who comes out and say that there's no Christian genocide, there's no Christian persecution, is not fair. It's not fair to the Christians of northern Nigeria, neither is it fair to the victims and their families. Because some of us who are talking today, we've been around and we have buried many in numbers. We can give those numbers and those incidences with dates. Long even before Boko Haram came up. So the killings have always been there. To just fast-track it, you begin with issue of Sharia crisis in 2000. Over 2,000 people died, and we know what really happened. We buried them. In just 2 years after, the Miss World Beauty Pageant crisis came up, over 300 people were killed. We know what happened. We know the people we buried. I used to say this not for any reason, so that you don't think I'm telling you stories I read from books. I was part of the burial. I actually did the burial. So it's not a story. We knew what happened in 2006 about the Danish cartoon crisis. And then Boko Haram came up and further make it big. Kill our pastors, burnt our churches. The fact is that, like the Baptist church that I belong, many of our churches have to shut down completely in Maiduguri and in most of the part of the Northeast due to Boko Haram. Boko Haram were not just targeting people, they were targeting Christians. They publicly came, and thank God, ISWAP and other terrorist organizations have said it publicly that, look, they will not stop tormenting or they will not stop persecuting Christians. But when you ask me as a Christian, is it just about killings. It goes beyond that. There are so many things we have faced. We face a situation where our children cannot be admitted in certain universities that are public universities, and their crime is not because they are not qualified, they are Christians. We face a situation that even if they go to that school, you will have mosques and places of worship for other religions, but they don't have a place to worship. So every Sunday, they will be changing classroom for them. You're not going to worship here today. You're not going to worship here next week. So they don't have a permanent place to worship. And we ask ourselves, where? I, Reverend Hayab, have fought even in public media that there should be no federal institution in Nigeria where a citizen of Nigeria, a son of a Nigeria, will not be allowed to exercise his right. But our children suffer that. Look, I'll give you an example. There is a resource center by the Catholic in Kaduna, near the Lugatho roundabout. In 2000, there were many priests. I remember one of the priests I will always remember was Professor Peter Bona. He is a professor, a Reverend Father, a professor. They chased them out of that place, burnt all those centers. So Christians have suffered so many things that we don't just keep repeating it. Okay. And that's why we say, first, acknowledge that something went wrong. But let's look, how do we correct what went wrong? But when you say that there was nothing wrong, then we are not going to correct it. We'll keep pretending and keep lying to ourselves. If we want to correct it, first we acknowledge that something went wrong, Christians have been killed, and truly we've buried many.
Reverend, thank you so much for that insight. And, you know, it's always very valuable to have somebody who has first-hand experience and a first-hand account of some of the things that transpired. What I found to be very profound in what you said is that you also documented what preceded Boko Haram. Now, you know, we frame this conversation through the lens of terrorism, and we know Boko Haram to sort of be the launch pad of terrorist insurgency in this part of the world. I'd love for you to break down what you attribute the ideology or the group motivation to have been prior to Boko Haram, because that is a designated terrorist organization. So which group or which ideology was pushing this prior to the emergence of Boko Haram and other groups that have come up since then?
Well, if you quickly also I can take you back to late 1970s when the Matazine happened. The only challenge is that at the time of Matazine, there was no use of the term terrorism. But what Matazine did was exactly terrorism. When Riyad Bonke came to Kanu and to just launch his crusade, fundamentalists came out and killed people in hundreds. It was also terrorism. But probably because at that time, there was no term, the use of term terrorism. You will agree with me that terrorism became common after 9/11. So, but there has been killings. There has been a lot of evil going on in our soil in the name of religion. So Boko Haram seems to be the most official terrorist group that came out publicly to declare their stand against any other faith, their stand against Christians. They kill pastors like Oji, they kill Sylvester Osanabo, they kill many. So,
Reverend, my question to you is,
what the ideology is that Islam or nobody.
Extremists?
The ideology simply is that anybody who do not believe in their brand of Islam is an infidel. Okay. And especially those who are not even associated with Islam are infidel. So that was the ideology. The ideology is Islam and Islam alone. And that's why they apply it to resources, they apply it to education, they apply it to development, they apply it to anything. Once you don't belong to, then you are an infidel.
And were there specific leaders? Were there specific leaders who used to drive this?
Yes, of course, there are specific leaders they know. As I'm speaking, Christians who have been all enough in northern Nigeria will know them. I remember in 1986, one particular leader came out publicly and said that, I quote, that according to Islamic teaching, a Christian cannot lead him. And again, he cannot also be led by women. And it became a heated issue in 1986. And I remember in 1987, there was a local government election. Then Kaduna local government was won, not Bastille, divided as it is today. Yeah. And the Christians came out and said, okay, if that is the case, we are going to show that we are in this town. They went and searched for a pastor called John Aboki and voted for him to become the local government chairman of Kaduna local government then. Okay. And in the word of that particular leader who said that, they voted one Grace Chechet to become the counselor of his ward, just to correct that. But that kind of teaching have already entered some extremists, and they believe that a Christian cannot be. And
Okay,
that
Reverend.
is not good
Reverend.
for a country like Nigeria.
Reverend.
Yes, I was saying.
Please, I want clarity this morning. I'm happy that there's a shift in narrative. But this was not what you were saying when the fact-finding mission happened that involved Mike
They
Arnold.
blackmailed this man to hell.
Yeah.
The government person.
He go free himself now.
Mockery. That was represented. This was not what you were saying.
I don't know. Mockery is
What
a
you were
devil.
saying was
You know that
entirely
man.
different. So please, can you throw more lights on what transpired in that fact-finding mission? Also, this was not what you were saying when you had those meetings with Daniel Bwala. What changed? Have you seen the lights now, Reverend?
Bro, Christian.
Yeah.
You see, what they did to this reverend is what they are doing to a lawmaker in the US now. Bwala is using an interview that was granted by a lawmaker to an Arise TV host. And they are using it against Trump. They are using it now, saying that Trump made his statement out of whatever, out of tension. That he didn't mean it. Trump never meant to come. I will play that video. After this one, I will play that video. So you will see what the man actually meant and what he really said in the video. But in Nigeria, they twist it.
Okay. Thank you very much for putting up this question because I give you an opportunity to clear a misconception. From the first word, I had just repeated what I said in that interview now, and I have the full video. Whoever did one small video to blackmail me then did not know that I had the full video. From the first word, I simply said, I am Reverend Joseph John Hayab, the chairman of CAN in the 19 Northern State and FCT. And anybody who said that there is no killing is a liar. I can share that video with you, Rufai, so that you will know that something went out behind the scene. But when I finished explaining that, I said the only thing that as Christians we will not support is for someone, because there was a comment around that time of a comedian that said the total number of killing was 100,000. And then another said, no, it's not 100,000, it's 500,000. And I clarified that there's no one that have killed 100,000 as at that time, or 500,000. And so I think either Mike Arnold or someone played the script and just went by the side. When you look at that video, you will see I was being picked by the side, and did not take me what I said from minute 1 to the second minute and just take some seconds in between the third minute and now put it as if I said something. Fortunately for me, a young man was there standing and he videoed everything I said from first word to the last word. So when you watch it, then you will know the drama surrounding Nigeria. So I don't think there's any problem. Because the visit of Bwala to the National CAN, thank God that the National CAN came out immediately and also refuted. You can see the misinformation, the twisting. I've talked about misrepresentation. The Bwala team came to see our national leaders. Instead of discussing honestly, they just wanted to catch them on camera with group photographs. And they came out and said that our national president said the so-called genocide. And our national president never said so. Even the first report that came out to misrepresent CAN, one of our directors was quoted to have said that. And we sat him down. And he told our national leaders that he never said that he was set out of context. I think one of the most dramatic aspects of this conversation is what we are seeing. Did you observe the video? The video is showing that I was in a meeting with Islamic leaders. Can someone tell me whether I've ever been in such a meeting? I have been part of some controversy sometimes.
Are you saying,
in the way people catch me and
are
they
you
don't
saying
know that I...
No, Reverend, sir. Because, Reverend, you know why I was shocked when I saw you on that fact-finding mission? Because I know you since the days of El Rufai and how you came here and you stood tall and you spoke against El Rufai. So when I saw you in that fact-finding mission, I was surprised. So are you saying that those that organized the fact-finding mission came to manipulate the system? And why were you part of it in the first place when they organized that manipulation? Why did you even go across people like that?
I don't want to conclude. If their intention was to manipulate, their intention was to get facts. And what was the fact? I gave them raw. And I have all that interview on tape. Not anything, on tape. The fact is that the day I had a conversation with Mike Arnold, First, he was using the first 1 minute manipulating video, but when I sent to him the full video, he now said, yes, I admit that you did say this, you did say this. I don't know what happened, because the video also tells me something. That when Mark Arnold was seated by my side and we started the interview, he then moved towards my left or right. What was he? Then probably either him or his colleague were the one. They asked me to even wait and have a meeting with the Muslim. I said, no, I'm not here to debate. I've put my facts across that Christians are being killed, and anybody who said that contrary is lying. The fact is that the last part of the video, which
Reverend, let's
even repeated that the reason why we are where we are is because of denial. Admit it and let's get here.
Reverend, let's talk solution, but you have to send the original video to be able to clear yourself so that the people can see it.
Yeah, I will.
Let's talk solutions.
Solutions
to this matter.
As
we start to wrap up. Solutions to this matter, Reverend.
Yeah, the solution is simple. See, you can't tell someone who is a victim, who is in pains, that his cry about his pains is not true. Once we stopped doing that, then we will find solution. Let's admit that, yes, people came and killed Christians, and they came in the name of religion. And which religion? They came as Islamic fundamentalists. No Christian is saying that Muslims had a meeting and asked some people to go and kill them. But Christians are saying that fundamentalists, terrorists, came in the name of Islam and killed Christians. When we acknowledge that fact, then we've started a journey of healing. Number two, as a nation, when we begin to talk honestly to one another and understand the feelings, the cry, the pains that people are going through, then people will trust any conversation we bring on the table. But when we see people in pains and we don't bother, like someone telling me that Trump is coming with an American agenda. First, I ask you this question. If Trump had an is having an agenda, what about your own agenda that have been killed and you didn't care? Before you tell me about Trump agenda, have you shown concern when I was killed? Have you shown concern when I was burying people in large number? Did you show concern when I was grieving? You even mocked at us. You even laughed at us. So if you want to bring Trump agenda, you've not started the conversation. Think of me as a Nigerian. Think of me as a fellow neighbor. Think of me as a citizen, and treat me with that respect. Give me the respect I deserve. I don't need to wait for Trump for that. But if you fail to do it and Trump says he's going to come, let him come. At least he will make you know that you are not the only one who is watching. And listening to what Trump says, Trump never said he was coming to fight Nigeria. I know there's a twisting of all these things. Trump simply said, go after these terrorists. If you don't go after them, we can come and go after them. So who is afraid of Trump coming to Nigeria? Probably he has an hidden agenda or something to do with terrorists. But the government can also come out and say, hey, we've had enough of this. We were taking position from now henceforth. Anybody who torments a fellow citizen, a Nigerian, because of his identity, whether tribal, whether religion, there will be a law, there's a law about it, and we will deal with him. If those who are causing this problem know that government will come after them, and there are structures, I even suggest to government, you can put up a task force in charge of religious freedom, who will monitor, investigate, advocate, and prosecute those who infringe on other people's rights. Then people will know the game is over.
All right, thank you. That was actually the question I was going to ask you. In one sentence, Reverend, do you think, so Trump coming in, fighting the terrorists and this task force, would that guarantee religious freedom in the North?
What did you say?
One sentence.
In reality, we really don't need Trump to fight. We're supposed to ask.
If Trump come, well,
Trump's coming in, will he guarantee religious freedom in the North?
Well, if it's done properly, if the writing is done, which is coming, yes, for sure. And to me, for me, that writing to be done with is either two options: remove that blasphemy law, most importantly, because this reverend is talking about instituting a committee to look into religion, whatever. Those things don't work, because if you want Nigerian government to do that committee, they will still go and put people who will see black and call it white, So the solution, which I don't know, sometimes again, this is the problem. When people don't look for the concrete, everlasting solution to an issue, if you like half a measure approach, it doesn't work, because it will come back again to haunt you. But deal with it cut it off from the root. And that is, they abolish this blasphemy law. And if they don't want, then they go their own. This is what they should be. Maybe it's a gradual process. You know what I mean, Brachus? Maybe maybe it's something that eventually we get there. So because for us, maybe somebody will say, for us now, zobu, sort of, So, but let's see, because that at the end of the day, that is the only thing that is going to be the ultimate solution. They will not accept it, but then they go their own way. Simple. Anything other than that, you're wasting your time because they are still stubborn. They will never go back, or except you make them go back. Thank you.
And this task force, would that guarantee religious freedom in the North? One sentence.
In reality, we really don't need Trump to fight. We're supposed to, as a sovereign country, fight. But a situation where you are hungry and a visitor comes to give you food, the temptation is that you will eat the food because you will not allow yourself to die of hunger. If there is a failure in going after those who have been causing this problem in Nigeria, the temptation also is there that if someone comes and will offer a relief, you will go for it. So